The final two slides of this lecture cover some of the mouse controls and some of the hotkeys associated with Design Modeler. So here we can see some of the basic mouse operations. Left mouse button to rotate, middle mouse button to pan, but we can also use the control button as well. So the control with the left mouse button adds and removes selected entities from the list that's already been created. So if we, for example, left click, control click, and then by doing that we can add another entity, and we can control click the second item to remove the entity from the list, for example. We can also hold the left mouse button down and drag the cursor over a number of entities, and it will pick up all of the entities over which the cursor drags, which can be quite a useful tool just to drag it over a number of entities on the screen. We can use the middle mouse button to rotate the view by default, but we can also use Shift and Control for pan and zoom to extend the functionality of the middle mouse button. And then the right mouse button we can use for box zooming. If you want to drag and zoom into a particular region, you need not select use the left mouse button and select the button in the toolbar menu. You can just use your right mouse button and directly box zoom. And you can also open context menus as well. If you select a particular entity, for example, and then right mouse button, it will give you some operations or options associated with that particular entity. And that also applies to the tree menu as well. You can do some have some options opened up by just right mouse button on the particular operation or plane, for example. There are also some hotkeys associated with a Design Modeler which you can use. Control Z and Y for undo, redo, which are only allowed in the sketching mode. You can use those with the control button. Control A will select everything that's available to be selected. Control C, X, V are copy, cut, paste respectively, similar as you would normally use in a Windows environment. Again, just as with undo, redo, they're only available for the sketching mode. We can toggle on points, edge, faces and body selection filter, basically cycle between them using Control P, F, B respectively for points, edge, faces and bodies. You can hit F3, which is apply. A common hotkey is F5 for generate. Instead of going up to the top of the GUI in Design Modeler and hitting generate, you can just hit F5, which will generate. And you can also hit F6, which allows shaded or shaded plus edges and wireframe, allows to cycle between the display menus. You can also find a full list of the hotkeys available in the appendix from the training slides.